Compound interest. Okay, compound interest, we know the rule. What's the rule? It's on your formula sheet.
A equals P bracket 1 plus R to the power of N.
Okay, you guys have seen that a million times. Now, that is on your formula sheet as is. They also give you another version, which instead of calling them A and P, they call them FV and PV. Okay? You can cope, okay? I promise you can cope. Because they're making it, the A is going to be FV, meaning your future value. So if you see A, it could be FV, which is the future value. And if you forget what it means, it's written on your formula sheet. They tell you, okay? Future value. And P, which is sometimes called PV, is the present value. Okay? Really simple. Now, sometimes when we're using compound interest, we solve for P. They actually rearrange this for you and put P as the subject to make it your life really easy. So instead of they say P, which is PV, is given by A, which is FV, divided by that brackets. I don't know why they even bother giving you this formula. So all they've done is they've rearranged that formula so that P is the subject. Now we're used to putting it in there and just solving the equation. But they're saying, oh no, we're going to make it even easier for you. We're just going to tell you, if you know what the future value is in the future, to find the present value, you can put it straight in this rule. So you don't even have to solve an equation. It's making life even easier. Okay? What's the only other thing we've got to remember with compound interest that's different to simple?
Oh, you have to change the unit, the compounding units.
The compounding units, and the answer is the total amount.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm trying to find interest, what's interest? If I use this rule, the interest is the difference.
Minus the present value.
Yeah, A minus P, or the future value minus the present value. Why does it just turn off that? That's just weird. Okay, so we sometimes have that extra step of finding interest. Alright, where we've got the total amount and we just subtract off the original to find the interest. Now, as Tim said, the other thing we've got to really look out for in compound interest questions is whatever the compounding period is. So if it doesn't say years, you've got to do whatever it says. If it says months, it says fortnights, it says whatever, you've got to make sure you're using the right period. Now, you guys have practiced this heaps of times, so I'm just going to do an example, see how much you remember. Alright, so let's say we invest some money. Let's invest $5,000 for 5 years at 4%. Now it's all nice if it's yearly. Shh. Yearly is really easy, you just put it in, so we're not going to do yearly. We're going to compound
Weekly.
Really want to go weekly? Sure. Compounded weekly. So, that's 5,000 for 5 years at 4% per annum compounded weekly. So we know our rule. I'm just going to go with the A because that's what we're used to. What is the initial investment? What is the present value? 5,000 is our present value or our principal. 1 plus, now when I put R, I normally put the interest rate, which is 0.04. But I've got to divide it by how many weeks in a year?
52.
So I have to do 0.04 divided by 52. What about the number of periods I have? How many
Wait,
periods do I have?
52 times 5.
Yeah, 5 years, 52 times every year. So it's going to be 5 times 52.
Whoa, that's not what I
And you can seriously just grab a calculator and type it in exactly like that. So I grab my calculator, I type it in, 5,000, brackets 1 plus 0.04 over 52, close brackets, power of. Now, I don't even have to work out 5 times 52 in my head. I trust the calculator, it can do it. Okay, it's got the whole thing sorted. How cool is that?
Like, I feel bad. Yeah.
And it just works it out.
I'm so sorry, like I had one job and it gets really depressed, and that's why they break sometimes. Like they kept stepping up and they're like, I just give up.
Okay, shh. Remember it's money, so you must give 2 decimal places, no exceptions. Always 2 decimal places. I don't care if that was a 0, you still write it in. Okay, give me 2 decimal places for money. So that's what happened if I invested my money. That is the total value. That's not my interest.
What's interest is $1,106.
What does A mean?
A is the amount at the end or the future value. Okay?
Interest.
This could be called the future value. So the interest is really easy. It's just this minus 5,000. That's it. You guys have done this heaps of time. That's compound interest. Let's go. Exercise 104.
Wait, hang on. How did you get that number?
This number,
6,000 minus 5,000. Oh,
I just minus what I invested, the money I put in. That's it. We good with that? All right, let's do exercise 104.